So there's degrees of friendships, as we all know. You have on the one end of the scale, longtime friends who you can trust and rely on with your serious problems. And then on the other side of the spectrum, you have passerby friends, friends that you only rely for directions to the bathroom. That's it. No more, no less. You trust them with that. And that goes the same with having a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Same principle there. You think you're home free just because your boyfriend or girlfriend or whoever you're dating at the time says they love you and they buy you stuff. You think you're home free. You got something good. No, it doesn't work that way. No. Board guy gives me gifts all the time. That doesn't mean I love him. No. You got to prove first your friendship, and then you prove your love. And that's all done by behavior, not words. Words are easy. The book says, when you gain a friend, first test him and be not too ready to trust him. That's what the book says, man. And trust is huge. A foundation of honesty. That's everything. A relationship can't do without that. Can't do without it. Like chocolate chip cookies. I started spraying whipped cream on chocolate chip cookies, and now I can't do without it. I can't. It tastes so good. People look at me cross-eyed sometimes, but too bad. It's a beautiful taste, beautiful combo there. So once trust and honesty leave the relationship and lying rears its ugly head, the relationship's over. It's done. I always used to watch when I was younger, when I would acquire new friends. I would always watch very carefully how those friends treated their family members and other friends. Because if they lie and are deceptive to them without blinking an eye sometimes, it's just a matter of time before they do it to me. That makes sense. It's guaranteed that they're going to shaft you. Guaranteed. Unlike when you buy a dishwasher or any major appliance for that reason, anything, even a can opener, the salesman is right there saying, would you like to buy a guarantee for that item? You know, the guarantee's like $25. The can opener's like $8. Why would I want to do that? No, it's ridiculous. If I buy something new, whatever it is, I expect it to give me 10 to 15 years worth of perfect service. It shouldn't break down. A guarantee. It's ridiculous. I'll tell you what, I'll give the salesman a guarantee. I guarantee if this item I just purchased breaks down under 12 years, I'm gonna be coming back right in front of them, right in their store, to complain in front of their customers for 3 hours straight. Yeah, I'll carry on like a lunatic. They hate that. The book says, for one sort of friend is a friend when it suits him, but he will not be with you in time of distress. And as we know, that's the sign of a true friend. True friend when they hang around in time of distress. Not when there's just smiles and gaiety abounding. Can I use that word? Yeah, I think that's a legitimate word. Happy gaiety at times. Something like that. You got to hang around and stick around for the frowns in a relationship also. And again, that goes for boyfriends and girlfriends. Absolutely it does. Because it's all fun and good times when it's all fun and good times. What happens when there's a snag? I was dating a young lady. I believe I was in my 20s, many moons ago. And we had a date, and she called up and canceled. And I said, hey, what's going on here? Well, she canceled because she was sick. And then she made the suggestion, well, you can still come over a little bit, bring some aspirin and tissues if you could. And I'm thinking to myself, now, why would I want to do that? It's nothing personal, but I'm not a doctor or a night nurse. I was looking to partay, have a good time on a Saturday night. Maybe she should have called her mother, perhaps. So needless to say, with my ego and selfishness, that dating situation did not last long at all. Nah, it didn't. And ironically, I think that girl went on to marry a doctor. The book says, another is a friend who becomes an enemy and tells of the quarrel to your shame. Somebody who turns on you and then blabs your business. You got private confidences there that you trust won't be revealed to the front page of the morning call. And all of a sudden, this person is blabbing. Blab, blah, blab, blah, blab. And your ex-friend will do anything to get back at you. You know how this goes. It's pretty sickening and disgusting, especially with the girlfriends and ex-girlfriends again, especially with them. You heard the expression, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. There's a secondary saying. It goes, hell hath no fury like a bored guy scorned. So I got to be really careful what I say or don't say with him. Say you dump your girlfriend. You remember those days way back then? And the girlfriend has to get back at you. And what's the best way to do that? Let's see. How about dating your closest friend? That's an idea. That's an oldie but goodie. And your friends, they always say, like Peter, they always say, I would never date your ex. No, I'm not that kind of guy. I would never date your ex, like Peter, saying to Jesus, I would never deny you. No, I'd never deny you. And then what does Peter do? 3 times. I don't know the dude. Who's that? Same with your friends. One night, late at night, your friend, supposed friend, is out with your ex. They meet each other at the club real late at night, and after a few drinks, nobody around, nobody will know. You succumb to temptation. And then you have a little thing going on there. And you figure no one's going to know. But the next day, your ex makes sure that you know. She's there giving you a call. She goes, guess what? She says, you know that sweater I bought for you last Christmas that you don't wear anymore? Can I have that back? And I'm thinking, why? And she goes, because your friend Tom would look great in it. I'm thinking, what? What are you talking about? What's going on here? So your ex starts dating your friend, and you really shouldn't care because you're the one that did the dumping, right? But you know what? You do care. You do. What's that old human nature saying? Having what you don't want, wanting what you don't have. That applies. Ruins your day. Eventually you get over it in like 3 or 4 years. Now, sometimes jealousy and envy creates a friend into an enemy. And that's a situation you don't want. You don't look forward to that. The book says, a tranquil heart gives life to the flesh, but envy makes the bones rot and stink right in front of you. And the envy, green with envy. And how does that happen? Well, friends, they compare and contrast themselves to you. Everything about yourself and them, they'll compare and contrast the looks, your car, your house, your entire life, comparing and contrasting. And the worst thing you can do to yourself is to do that, to compare and contrast. There's always going to be somebody better, always going to be somebody worse. You'll go crazy doing that. You'll absolutely never, ever, ever be content and happy. And I just want to remind everybody and let everybody know that this life that we dwell in, it's not a competition. You may think it is, and people may act as though it is, but it's not. It's not. Get out of the rat race. Stop living the way of the world. The only thing that matters in this life, the priority in this life, is the relationship you have with that dude named Jesus. And you know, while he was on earth, he wasn't actually called Jesus. Jesus is more of an English word for his name, taken from the Greeks, or I don't know, it's all mixed up, but it's basically a English term. When he was walking around this earth, they called him what the Hebrews called him. In Hebrew, they called him Yeshua. Yeshua. Maybe we should call Jesus Yeshua. Like, my name is Robert, and in a different language, I guess Roberta, or it could be any kind of crazy word. I like the original Robert. I don't care what language you're dealing with. So maybe we should all start calling the Savior of the world Yeshua. The Jewish people do, I know that, although they don't think he's the Messiah. But that's another story. But the bottom line is his name was Yeshua. Food for thought. Or maybe not. So humans, by the way, they're the only ones that do this comparison and contrasting, this comparison shopping. The humanoids are the only ones that do it. Nobody else, nothing else. Does a rose compare itself with the huge, gigantic sequoia tree? Does it? Well, to tell you the truth, I don't know. Perhaps they do. Maybe they have a language between themselves that we just don't perceive. That's possible. But I only know English. So most likely, no. They don't compare each other. They stand on their own, know what they are, and they know what they're not. They don't wish they were the other. They live happily and confidently in a mutually exclusive way. No jealousy. Jealousy. And that goes for the animals, too. Is a frog ever jealous of a German Shepherd? Again, I don't know for sure. It's possible. They have communication skills that, again, we don't know about and can perceive, so it's possible. But I'm assuming, for the sake of argument, that they don't. I don't believe they do. Hey, we got a caller. Who's this? Who could this possibly be at this early hour?
NJ.
NJ, what's happening, man?
Hey, I like that. You said you brought up Jesus' real name, which was Yeshua.
Yeah, what's the deal with that, man?
Well, see, Yeshua is his given name. Remember, Mary, Joseph, Jesus, they're all Jewish. And the name Yeshua does mean salvation, or he will save his people from their sins. Now, when you mention that there aren't many Jews that believe in Jesus, there are approximately 500 messianic congregations in the world today. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to be attending one this morning here in Wayne, New Jersey, Beth Israel.
And we can't forget that when Jesus was walking this planet, who were his followers? And the thousands and thousands that showed up, they were Jewish people. It's not like, I mean, people get the impression Jews never believe in Jesus. Well, back in the day, they were all Jewish people that believed in Jesus.
That's correct. You're absolutely right. They were Jewish. But remember, he did come to his own for the most part, the Jewish people, and they rejected him. But having said that, that opened up the door for us Goyims or Gentiles to receive the message. But we can't...
Gentiles. I never knew what that meant.
Yeah, but
that's a non-Jewish person, right?
Pardon?
That's a non-Jewish person.
Non-Jewish, yeah, Goyim, what they call Goyim or Gentile.
All right.
And we can't forget that our foundation in our history of the United States or America it's a Judeo-Christian foundation. And I could give you an example here in Belvedere, New Jersey. The Presbyterian Church has a stained glass windows. It has a menorah in the window. Stained glass, and it's a menorah. So back then they understood it. And
where did the stained glass windows come from? The people would. I remember my brother and I talking about this years ago. Why do they have the stained glass windows on a lot of Catholic? I mean, that's all we knew growing up. I mean, my brother always said so no one could look in.
Well, I'll tell you this much. We have 3 churches around the
and
square.
Take that where you want to take it. But go ahead.
Yeah, but the stained glass windows, if you take a look at either a Presbyterian church or go across from the park to the Methodist church, and you could see that they symbolize something. They show different aspects of the Bible, and I'll share with you that the Methodist church will give you like the prodigal son. It'll give you I think there's 12 different windows, and they give you different aspects of the Bible or different stories.
Well, don't get me wrong. I think they're very pretty. The windows they're very pretty and colorful. It's a good thing. Thanks, NJ. We got other callers. I got to let you go. Thank you. All right, who's this? Hello? Go.
Hello, is it me?
Yes, it is you.
Hey, good morning. Love your show,
Normally? What does that mean, sir?
Well, you kind of crossed jealousy with enterprise, and that's really not the right thing to do. We compare ourselves, we see what others have and kind of wish we had the same thing, and that develops enterprise in the human being. Jealousy is the other side of that same coin. It's a bad thing. But the enterprise, it always maddens me when I read the parable or the stories where Jesus mentions, consider the lilies. Do nothing. Leave everything. Follow me. That's all you need to do. No thought for the morrow. No thrift. No investment. In my opinion, for the human, that's disgusting. We need to live on.
Where's the enterprise word come from? What is that? Enterprise. Where'd you get that?
When we compare ourselves to others, when we wish we had better based on what we see others have, or see others and wish we were more like them.
Well, you got to be careful. You don't want to covet and envy either, right?
Right, absolutely, and that comes into the jealousy part. But the enterprise, the desire to make ourselves better and do what we need to do to get more or something that's different is a good thing in humanity and is what made humanity last as long as it has.
Yeah, that makes very much sense. I mean, you want to look around and you want to set goals and achieve. Yeah, I'm good with that. There's a fine line in between there, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
And should we not consider the morrow? Should we not invest for the future? Should we not make sure that our families are well cared for? And in doing that, strive to get more or better. I want a beautiful home for my wife and children. How wrong can that be?
No, I get it. And again, there's a thin line there. But as long as you're on the right side of the tracks and you don't go overboard, you do things in moderation, you'll be good to go.
I agree. But somehow I think a frog envying a German Shepherd might be an overboard example.
Of what? I don't get it.
Your homily, your sermon this morning.
My homily? Am I a priest?
Well, I wouldn't say priest. I kind of hate that word, too.
Huh. You called before, I believe. Did you call before and I made a thing about your voice being like a very good documentary voice?
That you have.
Yeah, that's you. Trying to sneak up on me.
Well, yeah, maybe sometime.
No, you got a good voice. I appreciate the call. Call anytime, pal.
Thanks, brother. I'll talk to you again.
Take care. All right, we got another call. Who's this? Go ahead.
Robert.
Rudy, what's happening?
Hey, Happy New Year, man.
Likewise.
And
I hope all your family's well now. Nobody's sick.
yeah, they got better. They got better. Thank God, man. Oh my God. You know, I want to go back to there's one point I want to bring up. I know. You know, when they say there's three religions, like three heavenly religions or three main religions in the world, right?
Which is Jewish, Catholic, and Islam.
Christianity and not Catholic,
Right. I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah. And remember one time I brought this point to you before, and I don't think you paid attention to it. I told you I don't think there's three religions. There's only one religion, because I think, you know, Christianity and you know, I mean, like Jewish religion, you know, what I mean, the Old Testament,
Right.
And they one religion. It just, you know, it's like continuation to the.
Yeah,
the
there's
old,
commonalities to all three, but there's big differences also.
Yeah, but see, people live in the Middle East. They know that Islam, you know, like the traditional type. Forget about the law of Islam, but like the stories and what happened on earth is all taken from the Bible and the Old Testament. They all
Yes.
identical. But when it comes to the different part that has to do with the religion itself and like what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to pray, that stuff Muhammad did, they're all different. So Islam was taken from Christianity. We all know that, you know what I mean? And
So Christianity was taken from Judaism, and Islam was taken from Christianity. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I don't think Christianity was taken from Judaism, because I think they're all one religion. It just, you know what I mean, two parts to it. You know, it wasn't finished yet, because remember when God says, you know what I mean, Jesus was coming, and that's when Jesus come and fulfilled the rest of it.
But the Jewish people do believe it was finished in the Old Testament. Nothing else.
No, they were still waiting for their king, remember?
No, but the doctrines and everything that came in the New Testament is totally discarded, right?
I mean, yeah, in this part, yes, but they were still waiting for their savior, I think.
Yeah, somebody said to me that they're waiting for the Messiah to come for the first time. We're waiting for Jesus, the Messiah, to come for a second time, and somebody was trying to convince me it's the same thing.
Yeah,
we're all united because of that.
Yeah, but
I don't believe that.
I
You
mean,
can't. It's not the same thing. It's totally different in the name because of Jesus and who he was. A first-time Messiah coming to save is different.
No, it
much
is the same
different.
thing. But what happens? They didn't believe. They didn't believe in the right way. That's why Jesus has to come.
Right, but
You know what I mean? But it is the
Jewish
same
people
in
believe
reality.
that they have the right way, and the Christians don't. And again, that's for everybody to decide. I got to let you go, Rudy. We got another call. They all come in at the same time. Go ahead. Who's up?
Hey, Robert, Happy New Year.
Hey, Barry. What's up? Hey, let's get this right out in the open. Where are you going to be 4:30 today?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I said, let's get this out in the open right off the bat. Where are you going to be 4:30 today?
What do you think?
Oh, baby! You got to love that, the Eagles.
Oh, yeah, I tell you what. I think they got a good chance. I tell you what, the Bears are a tough team, though.
Well, it's going to be a great game and a great enjoyment to watch. Okay, what did you have on your mind?
I got to say that also the word Messiah comes from the Jewish word Mashiach. Mashiach means Messiah. We were talking about Yeshua earlier.
Right.
I translated to Jesus. Well, Messiah came from the word Mashiach. Just to let you know.
Well, Jesus Christ, I asked somebody the other day, what does Christ mean? And somebody told me that means Messiah, Jesus the Messiah, Jesus Christ.
It's all translated from the original Hebrew.
Right.
So,
Aramaic, Hebrew, Greek, English, all kinds of stuff.
Jesus spoke Aramaic.
Right, okay. Did Jesus speak it, or did Yeshua speak it?
Spoke it, whatever you want.
Should we be calling Jesus Yeshua?
You can call him what you want as long as it's biblically sound.
All right, I'll go with
that.
that.
And as long as it's not in vain, you know.
Yeah.
Especially when people are watching Eagles this afternoon. You know,
Big B. I might have to call you Big B from now on.
Go ahead, you do that, Robert. All right. Have a safe day.
All right, thank you. So back to the friendship type of thing. We can all do without friends turning into enemies. The less enemies we have, the better.